Well, this is terrifying. What's up, guys? It's been a minute since I talked to everybody. We have been busy. Wow, that's bright. When I say we've been busy, that's a lie. I haven't been busy at all. There's some stuff going on that I can't tell you about yet, but there is some stuff in the back there that I can tell you about. And as you can see from that initial video, we got our work cut out for us. Let me go ahead and shut this charger off so you don't have to listen to it. Doesn't sound any different. So this is a 1985 Volkswagen Cabriolet. It is a 5-speed manual. The interior is mismatched. It has 158,000 miles. You can see that. Cassette player, which is pretty cool. It runs, sorta. It does have the very complicated CIS injection system, which I hear is an absolute nightmare to work on. Geez, where did we start? It wasn't originally yellow, obviously. It was a silver when it was new. But it does have the most beautiful front end that I think Volkswagen ever made. The top is absolutely obliterated. I'm also battling a cold right now. I'm a little sick, but yeah, there's a bunch of holes in it and stuff, and it's terrible. Look at that. Yeah, so we're just gonna put that sort of back down there. I don't know if we'll ever be using it. This car has zero rust. If you thought that you saw some up front, you'd be mistaken. It's just different colors right there. There's a Carmen. Not that that really means anything. Got wheels. 4 of them. Besides the top, it's in pretty decent condition. And besides the running issue that it's having, I guess let's dive into this thing. So I picked up this Volkswagen yesterday about 9 miles down the street from me, which is great. It was really close. When I messaged the owner about it, they said that it sort of runs, but it doesn't really, and they think it's an injector problem. So when I got there, when we started looking over everything, the father told me that they had had a Volkswagen mechanic there earlier, and he thought it wasn't running because of the spark plug firing order. And he said he tried to figure it out after he left, and that didn't work, and basically he didn't know if the spark plugs were firing in the right order. So I did a quick Google search, plugged them in the right order. Sure enough, it fired up. And I was like, oh great, now the price is doubled, right? Because now it runs. I was gonna buy it as a non-runner. So he was pretty cool. I did make an offer on it, and they didn't accept it first. We went up a little bit from there and came to an agreement. So how much do you think I paid for this bucket of magnificence? $300. It's a 1985. It's almost a GTI. Almost. I wish it was. I'd be a lot more interested in it then. When I went to drive it home, it died a quarter of a mile down the street. Under more throttle, it wants to die. It wants to use less throttle to drive. So we're gonna have to figure that out. He did tell me that the gas that's in it is about 3 years old with a bunch of seafoam in it. So who knows? It's pretty black when it starts up, when it actually runs. Maybe we can get a video of that in a second, because today's goal is I'm going to buy some brake cleaner so we can see if there are any vacuum leaks, which would greatly affect the fuel injection system because it's vacuum operated. And we're gonna get some new gasoline for it and see if that helps it a bit. It's been on the battery charger for the last day and a half, so there's a good chance it'll crank up really easily, but after a half a day of being on the charger, it wasn't really holding a charge, so we might need a battery as well. The interior's pretty nice. Again, remember that this is a 1985. I was lucky enough to buy it from people who had it in storage and who also was a single family owned vehicle. So it's only had 2 owners. One of them had it repainted, but it's not a terrible paint job. It actually held up pretty nice. But this thing hasn't been on the road since 2001. August specifically of 2001, because it had plates on it when I bought it. So yeah, it's actually a Missouri car. and some of the gauges work, I found out earlier. So I guess let's try and start it up and see how it runs. Something I like very much, it has the original key. It's totally dead. It was on the charger that whole time. Oh, damn it. Part of owning a Volkswagen, I guess. Nice door. Let's try using the world's worst jump starter. Told you it ran. Smokes too. Well, like most trips to the store, I ended up getting more than I needed. More V8 splash. I got some engine degreaser and brake cleaner and fuel stabilizer, and I actually did the more expensive 93 octane instead of the normal garbage that I run and everything else. So funny enough, this car actually has a keyed gas cap, and it's probably been on here since the mid-80s when the car was new. And the idea was that you didn't want people stealing your gas. It was a very, very expensive resource at the time. So I also bought this stay bill. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but it shouldn't hurt anything. Don't you love these child-proof locks? Simply pour the entire contents in. Try not to get wet. While this is going on, I'm going to go ahead and try and find a funnel for the gas. I did manage to find a funnel that should be just about, maybe it's not. Okay. Just take out the old dead spiders and proceed to spill all this expensive gas everywhere. I'm really bad at this part. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. Alright, I'd say out of the 2 gallons that I got, maybe 1.5 got into the tank. Alright. Gas all over my leg. So the next thing we're trying to do is just get some of this new gas up into the engine. I mean, it's been probably about 3 years since it's seen fresh gas, and I'm hoping that that really turns this motor around. Literally. Does somebody want to sponsor an episode? New charger would be nice. Let's put it on start and see what happens. So close. Doing a little investigating up at the battery, and it's leaking. I feel bamboozled. I am grasping at straws at this point, but I did just top off the battery. It took 2 full cups of water. You may see a little bit of the splash over down at the bottom. That may be something. I say we check back in tomorrow. So I was going to call it quits. It's now, I don't know, 15 minutes later. I took out all the spark plugs, sprayed brake cleaner inside each of the holes, put the spark plugs back on, and we're going to try it again. Day 2. I'm not really expecting any kind of different results, but I would love for there to be different results. Been charging all day. It bloody sucks. Let's just go buy a battery. Alrighty, so we're back. I just picked up this new battery from Walmart. It is not the correct one, but it is the right price. So this one was like $45 with the core charge, something like that. It's only off by an inch or so lengthwise, and maybe it's a little tall. Hopefully it doesn't ground itself out on the hood. We'll find out later. I just want this thing to run. So I'm going to go ahead and hook up the positive terminal, tighten down the negative, and then we're going to give this thing a shot. So now I'm questioning spark. Spark maybe? The plugs are completely soaked when I take them out. So I'm not really sure why I'm trying to waste my time cleaning these when it's probably only going to save me like $4. So we're going to run to the parts store real quick and try and find a set of these plugs. Well, I made it back. It was raining. I had to bag up my spark plugs so they didn't get wet. Let's swap these over and then check back in. All the plugs have been swapped over and it's time to try again. The OXS light is coming on, which I'm guessing means oxygens. Whew. Well, okay, so it ran. It's still pouring out, so like we said earlier in the video, which seems like days ago now, the top is full of holes. I'd really like to run this thing for a long time outside to try and flush out the system, but I'm not going to do it in the rain and get the thing soaked because right now it doesn't have any rust, and I'd like to keep it that way. But walking back in, I just noticed something. There's a very large puddle of oil for a very small amount of time. So something is tragically leaking, but we did get it started again, which is all I really cared about for today in the first video. So I'm gonna take a bit of carpet that I've got over here. Ooh, or a plastic bag. Is that better? Both. And well, here's another plastic bag, so we'll just put that right there. Hopefully that catches all of that magic mystery oil. And we'll see. Wow, this is dark. So we're going to end the episode here. It seems like maybe electrical is more of a problem and not so much getting fuel into it, although it will not start unless I'm pumping the gas. And this is the CIS system, so there's probably no need for me to do that. So I'm not really sure. If any of you Volkswagen guys want to chime in to the video, maybe tell me that I'm being a moron and you know exactly how to fix it, let me know. Otherwise, thanks for watching this new episode of $1,000 Car Guy. And when life gives you lemons, you make YouTube videos. Okay, see you on the next one.